Going live. Going live. Hey, he says we're live. Hey, everybody, how you doing? Welcome to today's episode of Synth Talk. Yay. Everybody enjoy it? There it is. Okay, class is in session. We're going to have a little bit of fun today, and we're going to talk about synthesizers, right, Scott? We're going to talk about synths and get that going. But today we decided to, as we went over yesterday, we were talking about, we've been predominantly talking about Phantoms and Jupiter X's and XMs. But as we mentioned yesterday, we're going to start expanding some of the discussion to the other synthesizers that we play and that we deal with. And one of the ones we're going to talk about is this one here. Check this one out. Whoa, check this out. The Roland Juno-DS, the black edition, completely black. Totally looks cool. Yeah, hey, Tortog says that is one cool looking keyboard. Actually, it really is. I'm going to probably end up buying this one, just keeping it. I'm going to end up buying it because I just think it looks really cool. Black keys and everything, so it's totally cool. So just wanted to say hi to everybody that's on here right now, and we'll see how it goes today. We're going to talk about some different this keyboard and see what's going on. We're going to talk about the Juno-DS Black Edition, and that's it. Let's see. People are coming on now. Get some people on here. And I see 5 people already on here. So, we're getting some. I know we were going to go on at 2 o'clock Central Standard Time here in the U.S., but then there's been meetings, right, Scott? A lot of...
Every day something changes and moves in a different direction. You just have to be, keeps you on your toes. Absolutely, but we just have to move with the flow and do the best that we can.
Yeah, going to move with the flow. Hello, I already said hi to Tortog. I see Juan Lupion. How you doing? Evan Turner, how are you? That's cool. Good to see you on here as people start to come in. I know we normally come on 2, but like I said, we had some meetings that we had to do and some trainings and stuff like that. Already a question. Hello, Hendo. It says, is there an 88 key black version? I don't even know. Scott, can you...
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think this is a limited edition that they did for the 61.
Yeah.
But yeah, I keep in mind with the Juno, it's going to be the same thing. The black edition just looks amazing.
Yeah.
6 key in 88 and a 61 in the DS.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I feel so strongly about these. I helped my father get one. So my father ended up getting an 88 key Juno-DS 88. So that's totally cool on there. So we're going to kind of go through this one and just talk about it, like some of the cool things that we know about this one, and share with you. And then also we can answer your questions as they come up. Garden House, he says, hi guys, how are you today? We're good. It's a lot of us are on I almost said house arrest. No, that's another life. It's just very busy doing stuff online and creating content. How about yourself, Scott?
It's crazy because again, you've got the shifting of the gears, depending on what's going on. You're going in one direction, then you get an email and you're like, oh, I need to be over here. I need to do this. And it's definitely been crazy. It's also been kind of nonstop, which is not a bad thing. But it's just a lot going on. And then you look forward to a little bit of downtime, but yet you don't want the downtime, which we're not getting. So it's all good all the way around. It's just absolutely crazy times and crazy for work right now. But yeah, busy.
Yeah, busy, but that's okay. We're going to just go with it and make it look good. Let's see. For some reason, I'm getting a little error streaming, but it's going to come right back. I just closed those. I had a couple extra windows open on the Mac here, but close that up. So anyway, let's get to it on this Juno-DS. And one thing about these guys, you check the price on the internet and your local dealers, but these don't cost that much, do they, Scott? Not very much at all.
They're extremely powerful for the money. Absolutely. And in fact, if we were to compare it, and we'll probably talk about it again, where the Juno-Di was to where the Juno-DS is a completely night and day difference.
Yeah. So yeah, not even only because of the black keys on this particular black edition, which it's currently for sale. Just look online and you can find it at various dealers. But this is a limited edition, so that's why I'm thinking since this one is in my house, I'll probably keep it because it's like good luck getting it back. So it's totally cool. But the regular keyed ones also work great. The 61, 76, and 88. But I just think this looks cool. One day when we're able to go back out and gig, this will look really cool. Especially if I put it on a keyboard stand, kind of faced kind of down. So that way they can see the keys and it's all black. That'll just look really neato mosquito. So anyway, let's see what do we know about this, Scott? What do we already know about this thing? So
We know it's a distant cousin of yours.
oh, because yeah, when I was one of the guys, and I think Scott was too. I can't remember if he was demoing this one, but yeah, if you look at the NAMM videos for this one, I would introduce myself because hi, Ed Diaz here, and this is the Juno-DS. So it's like it was kind of funny. It was like okay,
Very funny.
yeah,
But yeah, it's a powerhouse. I mean, the best bang for the buck, I think, is exactly it. Nailed it on the head. The power that the Juno-DS has now, I want to say it was close to the early Phantoms, minus the sequencer, the full blown sequencer. As far as the patch and performance, the way that it's set up, the amount that's there, the capabilities of going down deep enough to edit. The Juno-DS is what an early Phantom was, for sure.
Yeah, actually, that's a great point. Yeah, so yeah, and then I think the early Phantom was patch and performance, and this one is also patch and performance. So that's kind of cool, and then so you see some of that in there. Let's go ahead and answer some questions right now before we really get into it. This Garden House Studio says, can you compare the DS with the Juno stage? Was that before your time at Roland, Scott? I think.
Yeah, it was, but the stage. I'm trying to remember if the stage was live sets, wasn't it?
Yeah, the stage. No, I think the stage was all performance based in there.
Okay.
And the stage. Yeah, the stage was all because I demoed that one at NAMM in Nashville years and years and years ago, and the stage only came in one size, which was 76 keys. That's all it did was 76 keys, and it was actually pretty cool. That one was really stripped down, but I didn't mind it because it had a lot of the great meat and potatoes, which I think you can say that about a lot of the Juno series in general. If we look back, Juno series is about I always consider the Juno series kind of like the working man's keyboard, the working man's synth, that's going out there and just really gigging and stuff like that. So go ahead.
Class level, or it can be classed as professional. I mean, it's either or. If it's your first keyboard or something like that, it's perfect. If you just need a workhorse that's lightweight and easy to move around, that sounds amazing. It's perfect.
Yeah.
So it fits all those categories.
Yeah. So as far as the difference, well, if I remember correctly, and I might have to bring up a Juno stage in front of me. I don't think the Juno stage had pads. I don't think it had pads.
It did either.
Or
audio stuff, though, right?
Well,
like recording or
yeah, I believe on the Juno, and it's been like I said, it's been many years, but I don't believe the Juno stage had pads where this one has pads. The Juno stage didn't have any type of recorder or sequencing, where this Juno-DS has a pattern sequencer, which is totally cool. And then the Juno stage was where you can record into a computer, audio and MIDI. I think it was just before, it was right around that time where it was like in there. And this one does that. So that's cool. So we're getting there. And so this one is, it's great, because I think a lot of us now are recording over USB audio and MIDI now, and this one does that. And then one thing I love about the 61 is it's 12 pounds, 12 pounds, and I think what's 12 pounds in kilos? Is it? I almost want to say 24.
Stone is like 16 pounds or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So it does good, and then this one also takes the virtual expansion board. So if I were to go over to here, if I were to go right there, I can actually go ahead and we can see the virtual expansion boards from axial.roland.com. And I think it takes one, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And
all 10 are available, and it can only have one in it at a time. Again, this is where the Phantom starts to separate because it can hold 15 different expansions in it at the same time.
yeah.
Juno can do one.
Yeah.
But the other thing with the Juno is that they can be also battery powered.
Yeah.
So if you want to do a beach gig or something like that, you can just put batteries in it.
Yeah, you can put batteries in it and get it to go. So that's something that's totally hip there that you can do with the Juno. So that's cool. Let's answer some more questions in here. So I hope that helps you. Who?
And it's going to catch same stream?
I think so. Let's see. I think so. Excellent connection. I think. Are we back on? Did it catch the same string?
I don't know.
Let's see. Hey, everybody. Can you hear us? I see there's people on here. Hold on. It's thinking. You guys see?
Looks like it, yeah.
And hear us?
Maybe.
Here, I'm checking because it said I was streaming now. Just checking. Can you guys see us and hear us? Just checking to see. I'm not sure what just happened. The whole computer just went down. So that was really kind of crazy. We're like, what's going on? So it looks like we're live. Even on YouTube, and I haven't seen anybody.
Yeah. Awesome.
It looks like on YouTube that it's still continuing. Wow, that's crazy, man. So, okay.
Yeah.
That is crazy. So just so you guys know that my computer just totally locked up all of a sudden. It totally locked up. And then it shut down, restarted. I had to restart everything real fast. And then I just went back to YouTube. It says that I'm currently streaming. And then I just went ahead and started OBS again. And it's like we jumped back in. That is going to be really crazy. Okay, so that was crazy. So I'm glad this stream is still here. That's going to be crazy on the playback. All right, let me just go ahead and let's just continue. We have 20 viewers on here, which I totally love that. Let's see this catch on there. Yeah, Juan said, guess it's way beyond JV class synthesis. I guess on the Juno-DS, I don't know, what would you say, Scott? It's way beyond? I think it's right around JV.
I would say it's closer to XV, but it's in there. I mean, you've got the 4 waveforms. Everything's, a time variable. It's all PCM.
Yeah.
But you can go down to the bottom, whereas before with the Juno-DI, it was limited. There was a wall there that when you tried to edit more than just the attack and the release, it wouldn't let you do anything.
Yep.
This one that completely opened up, and that's why I say it's closer to the first generations of the Phantom or the XV sound modules in a keyboard.
Hey, Scott, flip your screen on the FaceTime there. You're on vertical.
I'm not locked up on my side.
No. Flip you're in the vertical, not horizontal.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Duh. Okay, cool. So
okay.
Scott does that. That's cool. Let's see here. I see the Garden House Studio. I'm smashing my router right now. Don't do that. That's awesome. Hello, Kirill. I see you here. Yep, I'm glad you guys can hear us. What's up, Graham? Cool. Enzo, hey, how are you? And let's see. You're back. No Scott yet. No, we're all good now. Hello from Coventry, England. Hello, Graham. Cool. That's pretty neat. Went down here too. Yep. Scott is back. All right, cool. Yeah. So Walter, he's to you, Scott. He said he wasn't aware of the expansion slots. He says he did a session on one of those actually did some minor programming. Are the expansion slots only program database or do they load PCM data too?
They load waveforms with them. Every single expansion. So these are the EXPs that are available for the FA and the Juno. There's ones dedicated to the Juno and there's ones dedicated to the FA, but they're identical. So they load in a bunch of waveforms so that they can make up those, because those are originally the SRX packs. And then we talked about these before, that some of those SRX were physical cards that you had to install into the keyboard. And they would run anywhere between $100 to $300 depending on what they were. And now they're all free. So it loads all those waveforms in, and you can use them. However, if you load in another expansion, it will eject everything that's in there, will overwrite it.
Yeah.
So you can't cherry pick from it.
No.
That's the advantage with the Phantom, is that you can keep all 15 sitting in there. So that's the difference. But yeah.
Yeah, I like a Garden House. He says, "Damn computers these days." I know, right? And I'm using this MacBook, but in all fairness, my MacBook has been running since this morning, doing a lot of other streaming and editing videos and editing pictures and just a lot of things. So the poor thing's like, "Okay, I'm taking a break," and now I just instantly turned it back on. Anyway, hello, Musico. It says, "Hello, hi, Ed, and hi, Scott." Good. And Marktronics, yeah. We actually started a little bit late because of meetings, okay? So we have to remember how do we really make our money? We're like, yeah. Okay, I can't tell my boss, "Hey, I got Synth Talk. I can't take part in this meeting." My boss would probably say, "You can take part in that meeting. You can take part in Synth Talk, and you don't have to worry about meetings ever again." No, my boss is pretty cool, actually, so that's pretty cool. Let's see, Bella Lugosi, which I still love that. I hope that's your real name. That's neat. He says, are the free cards in Phantom the exact same or slightly different? I'm going to say, there are going to be some slight differences between them in there.
But yeah, you've got the same things. The thing is that there's an analog collection that's available for the FA, and they did a vintage one, I think, for the Phantom, but I don't think it's available for the Juno.
Yeah, and let's see here. Okay, so Walter says, "That's Scott. That's really nice. Proper SRVs. Very not Roland. 2BH. What does that mean?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I'm not down with that one. SRVs. Well, that is old Roland. SRJVs and SRX. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and those are different because there's some copyright issues with some of those.
Oh, okay.
So that might be what he's talking about.
Oh, okay. So Kevin Jones, we're not talking about Jupiter today, but that's totally cool. He says, "Is there a way to report a bug I see in the Jupiter?" Yeah. The best way is you can go onto the Facebook sites for Jupiter. There are 2 Facebook sites. You can go there, and you can just kind of say, "Hey, this might be a bug." And then so go to Facebook, look up the Roland Jupiter X, and you're going to find 2 of them there. And you just choose one of them because we're watching those sites or our other colleagues at Roland, and then we can kind of see in there. So, to be honest, okay, thank you.
If you want to type it here, we'll look at it. Sometimes, yes, these may be bugs, but a lot of times people jump thinking it's a bug, and it's something that is not a bug. So
yeah. Yes.
If you type here, we can look at it, and if it's something we can answer, we'll answer it. If not, definitely do it on the Facebook page.
Okay, here's some. Handel says they really enjoyed the vocoder, and I'm assuming we are talking about this guy here because that's what we're kind of talking about today, the Juno-DS, and I brought out the black version. It's a limited edition, just so you guys can see it because I know right now, since stores aren't open, you might not be able to see these, and these are limited edition. But anyway, yeah, so let's see. I lost my train. Really enjoyed the vocoder on it. So is it possible for a future update to have direct onboard sampling? Well, I think on the Juno-DS you can sample. It's a limited sampling capability on there, but this, you got to remember what this one is, the Junos. I tell you what, let's go ahead and check out some sounds because we've been talking, but we haven't played any, and I wanted you guys to kind of hear a little bit of the Juno. I already went in and I kind of chose some favorites that I was digging earlier today. And so, for instance, let me get out of here because I've been kind of programming on this one a little bit, having some fun. Oh, no, that's the wrong thing.
Can you go landscape for me? Sorry, you gave me crap about it, so it's my turn.
No, I wasn't giving you crap. No, I did go. Oh, wait, it changed. I did go landscape, and then when you switched over, see, there. Okay, big crybaby. All right, cool. So, all right, let me get out of here. So I'm going to go over here down into there. Yep, I'm going to exit that pattern because, like I said, the great thing about all this stuff is you can go in there and you can do a lot of different programs in here. Of course, we can go in, and I already have a bank that I did on bank 9. Of course, all the different pianos. Let me just check the level. So pretty good pianos and stuff, but I really was digging, of course, love that sound, that West Coast. So really, really fun. Some of the sounds in here, like I like the West Coast, and then I love the JV. This one is I call the money. This one is the money patch right here because you can use it in all kinds of gig. I'll drop it 1 octave. Oops. I love that patch. You can use that pretty much all the time and just make some money with that one, just doing all your kind of wedding gigs. And that's where I kind of think this one really shines. You can actually go ahead and really go in there and kind of have some fun and make some money with this one. This one's really great for that. Let's go check out some other patches. The Perky Twin B, which this was a lot of fun. And I'll put it back at the regular octave. Or just really fun synth, and it weighing at 12 pounds, and it's that's not a high price point. It's totally great bang for the buck, like I was saying. Here's a good one. I got to watch the volume on this one because this is based off of the Gaia, the SH01. I hope this doesn't hurt your ears, but totally fun. Grab the cutoff. Totally fun on this one. Cool. So that's kind of fun. Oh, it probably cut out early. Okay, let's try some more. Let's do another sound. And in here. Oh, this one's fun. I have always loved this, Scott. This is like how to get even with the guitar guys. Can you guys hear that? That's so much fun. We can go ahead. So I'll turn it down. So, yeah, it's a total classic. And the great thing about the Syrian Cosm, we can just let it ring out. And it just totally feeds back. That is so much fun. I love this comment. I think Kevin Jones says, I would get lost with that black on black. Laugh out loud. Yeah, my wife asked me that. She says, how do you know where to play and stuff? And so it's just, to me, it's a non-issue. I know we're probably just playing, but it's just,
it's just fun. Used to it. You adapt to it in seconds. You just don't think.
Yeah, don't think. Just play. It's totally fun. Let's check out. Of course, you got the comp steel guitar, like depending on how you strike it. Turn up the volume on this one. Yeah, just totally. Yep, that's a great one too. Yeah, that Syrian Cosm. You look it up. The Phantoms have it, and the Junos have it. Yeah, the Junos will have. Excuse me, the Jupiters will have it. That'll be in the 5080 section of your Jupiter, and then in the Phantoms, you can probably just look up Syrian Cosm, and you'll find it. Yeah, that one's a great, especially if you use the AX Edge, which also has Syrian Cosm in it. That's great. So this is cool. Oh, we got the compressed bass. You know, complete with the harmonics on the top, depending on how you do it. It's totally fun. So we'll go a couple more sounds. Oh, session brass. Now this is where I think the Junos shine, Scott, is that we gotta have some good brass, and Junos I think have always delivered.
Well, it's like the Junos are great on having all your bread and butter sounds. Absolutely. So yeah, go,
Yeah.
baby. Go.
Look, he's like go. So let me adjust my mic. So yeah. Yeah, so that's totally in there. That's totally cool. And that was just keeping with the one brass. One was just the session brass. And let's see, you guys see, that's the session brass. That one's just, I haven't even done anything with it as far as creating some kind of performance where we layer. So that's cool. And analog lead. That's this one here. Nice analog lead sound. Totally a fun sound. And I was actually looking through some more sounds, and I think this one, Scott, doesn't this one have like 2,000 sounds? I think it does. So that's pretty cool.
I want to say the Juno-DS has about it's 1,400. It's in that 1,400 mark.
Yeah.
And then if you add an expansion, that can be anywhere between 20 sounds to over 400.
Yeah, so that's
definitely go up. And then the XV50 stuff is available on the Axial side as well. Different way to import that, but then you can add all the XV50 stuff.
Yeah, and so I found some more sounds like this one's. To me, the Junos are actually like the working man's keyboard to go out there and do some gigs. 12 pounds on the 61s, 76s are not that much heavier, but this. Yeah, we went there. Drop it an octave. So totally fun. And let's check out a couple more. Oh, I was having fun with this. This one reminded me, everybody. This sound is called BPF saw. Probably what does that stand for? Probably band pass filter saw.
Yeah, exactly. So that you have a low cutoff and a high cutoff, or low filter, high filter, and it's just the middle.
Yes.
So yeah, pass it.
So adjust the volume on this guy. When I was trying this one out today, because it's been a little bit since I played this one, it just reminded me of like a cop show, like something you would see on Beverly Hills Cop. Here we go. Here. That just reminded me. I just kind of a fun kind of mess one. Oh, and this one was cool, called Coffee Bee. So many great sounds in this little guy. So. Oh, here when I push forward. It kind of has that. So it does sound kind of like a bee. Yeah, you guys can totally have fun with this and sing along on top when you're playing this. You can do so much fun. Let's see. There was another good lead. Look, I'm not even doing anything. Maybe open up that filter. Totally fun. Oh, another. Obviously, I like leads. I like this one. I've always loved Android. So good one there. This one was just kind of fun. I just thought it was kind of a weird, well, not weird, just kind of like a little trippy kind of sound. You can have some fun with this, kind of like and it's just like kind of this. Totally fun sound. And then I took this. I won't do that one. Let's see. This one. I think that was all I just kind of pulled some from there, Scott. Just kind of just having some fun with some of these sounds. Let's go to some of the questions in here and bring Scott back when he's ready. Let's see. And I think Scott got some of these questions.
Yeah, there was one up here from Simon. He was like, "What's the main difference between the Juno-DS and the FA?"
Well, one of the things. Well, one is the shout out to Robin. I see you there. Hey, man, it's all good. The FA and this, first off, in the sound engines, this Juno-DS is all pretty much PCMs, but the FA, we actually put the supernatural sound engine, supernatural acoustics and supernatural synthesis, and the Juno-DS didn't have that. So that's just one of the things there. Another thing is the Juno-DS can put one virtual expansion slot where the FA can put two, so that's cool there. Another thing is the FA, and I just got to watch right terminology. The FA can be used as a master keyboard controller, so that means it can send out external MIDI information to other things such as a computer via MainStage or maybe other hardware synthesizers. That's cool. The Juno-DS, it doesn't do it, and it's not that we couldn't make it do it, but a lot of times when we're working on designs for the keyboards, we have to go ahead and decide, okay, who is this for? What are they going to want to do? And we've noticed that the Juno-DS it's an excellent either first synth that someone really wants to get into it, play some music. It's an excellent second keyboard if you're on a budget, you need another synth. It's also great for just it can also, I have a couple keyboards that I call trunk keyboards. This is one of them. The VR09B is the other one. And what I mean by that, it's the keyboard that if someone says, hey, you want to do a gig or you want to just, do you have your keyboard with you? This is the one that I would take with me. Just kind of like, cool, let's go. I'm ready to rock and roll with that one. And
everything out of it that you need.
Yeah, everything that out of it. And then if you spend a little bit of time with this, you can actually go ahead, access the vocoder. You can go ahead and create layers and splits. Still the same way like the FA, up to 16, with all kinds of crazy stuff. So for me, that's the big difference is the sound engine is the biggest difference. But then also for me, I do like to have the external keyboard control, the external MIDI going on there. And then also the better integration with MainStage. Although I can make this work with MainStage, but it's a little bit of a trick because it's not really meant for that. But we can totally make it go there. So that's the big thing. Let's catch up. I see some guys over here talking, which I love that. Let's see here. Let me catch up. Yeah, Syrian Cosm, that's cool. I've always loved the Syrian Cosm for many, many years, and it makes guitar players angry, so I love it even more. Let's see here. Oh, Garden House remembers the Wayland guitar preset of the JD800 that he still has. Awesome. I bet you that's great. That's one. Right, Scott? The JD800 just looks cool. It just looks cool.
become iconic too.
Yeah, it is iconic. Jay Ritt, he says he needs to learn to make his my key playing sound more like a guitar like that. Just think about it and stuff like that. Usually I know like Scott does some real good stuff on his keyboards live, but I know for me on that particular one, the Searing Cosm. Where is it? Here it is, right here. Let me watch the volume. I do. So we'll get into a little bit of playing, but I know that I'll do like a fourth. It's a fifth up here, but I'll do a fourth. And that's how I'll do the power chord. And I do +2 and -2 on the pitch bend for me. Sometimes some of the guys will do a -12, which is a whole octave. Yeah, look, Scott's like, yeah, that's how it's supposed to be done.
Want to get that dive. And a lot of times, if you're doing chords, you're playing fifths. Because that's like a bar chord on the guitar, so fifths. But solos, totally a different thing.
Yeah, so you can really pull it off. And then since this one does kind of does feedback, let it feed back. Maybe pitch up to a note, let it start to feedback, and then let it come down. It just takes a little bit of just work on there, but you could totally pull it off. Any other suggestions, Scott, on that one?
No, I mean that's pretty much with the guitar. It's playing a lot of fifths, and then the solos. You just kind of have to think about it because in a guitar the frets are farther apart, so versus where the keys are. So covering the same space in the guitar is much tighter on the keyboard.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah.
So you have to think of solos like that. Keyboard players were usually thinking, oh, we've got to do these huge runs and things like that to be a guitar player. And it's like, no, most of the solos are in very, very tight areas.
Yep.
If you sound more guitar-like.
So that's cool. Let's see here. Walter says, FWIW, the Roland PCM engine has the classic Roland. Yeah. Jupiter, Juno, original supersaws, etc. Waveforms down. Kudos on that one. Absolutely. I when the Juno-DS came out, I remember that year at the NAMM show, everybody was like poo-pooing it because it wasn't like a big thing coming out. But I know for me, the Juno-DS is kind of like a blast from the past, from my childhood, like in the 80s and 90s, and so a lot of the sounds I recognized, and I was like, "Oh, this is great!" So I get to use them now, and I can record using the computer with them. So I was really happy when it came out.
The thing that's cool is right there on the keyboard, you've got the dual and split buttons, which act the same as everything else, and then you've got the sliders. So not only can you control the layers. So like if you did a dual and it's a piano and strings, you could control them right there with the sliders. You also have a slider dedicated to your mic. And I know that when we demoed it at NAMM, we had a headset with a microphone on it. We plugged it directly into the Juno and used that lever as our volume. It was like a really cool, everything's sitting there ready to go.
Yeah, so you could actually get away and use this if you're a one-man band. You could just plug in your mic, and you can go ahead and do that mic in right there and just kind of have it going. So,
and you can add effects to the mic. So you can add reverb and a reverb amount and things like that. Or again, use it as a vocoder.
Yep. Let's see. Musico says, he says, Ed, does the Phantom XR have all the sounds of the XV5080? I'm going to go out on a limb. I'd have to see because both of those are older units. I'm going to probably say no because the 5080, that was the big dog back in its day, I think late 90s. Possibly, and then the Phantom XR is based off of the Phantom X, so it probably, there's going to be some portions of the XV5080 in there, but not the entire engine. The XR had its own kind of thing going, but there were some in there, but not
exactly how I answered it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah,
good.
That's cool.
No, it's good to have different opinion, especially when we clash.
When we clash, did we clash? I don't think so. Let's see here.
No, that was perfect.
Okay, so
Bob, I'm proud of you.
Score. High five. Yay. Psh. Okay, all right.
Wherever you are.
Yeah. All right, so let's see here. Let's shoot. All right, let's see. What are your thoughts on the Juno-D sequencer? I like it. I think it's kind of fun because it's a way for me and let Scott answer next. It's a way just to kind of jot down some ideas real quick in there. And I know when we were using this, and I'll probably it's been a minute. I was actually working on it before we came on this podcast. and it was just a real nice way to just kind of jot my ideas down real fast. Now it's only 8 parts and up to 8 measures, so it's not a full blown linear sequencer or even the current sequencer we have in the Phantom. But since this particular model of Roland really got me using Logic and Ableton more, so that way I can open up and get the full 16 there. So I like it for what it is. It's just great for me to just like bang out some ideas. What are your thoughts, Scott?
Exactly. I mean, it's a pattern sequencer, so up to 8 measures, 8 bars. You may just want to create something that's 4 measures long and then just play over it or do what you want. It's great for ideas and great to get some stuff down. At least there's something there instead of nothing. But yeah, the integration with the computer and the DAW, running USB audio out, and then you've even got DAW control on the Juno-DS that is just mapping certain things like the transport and stuff that map to the sequencer. So yeah, I think it's a great idea, starter, something to just jam over.
Yeah, and I think we already answered the question on the difference between the DS and the FA. I think we already did. Okay, cool. We're just catching up. See, Robin was late, so we're gonna have to send a note home to his parents. Let him sign.
Hey,
it.
Robin.
Yeah, and let's see. Does the Juno-DS have a chord memory? I'm just taking a quick peek here. I don't think it does, if I remember.
It'd be near the ARP switch, which would be.
Nope, it doesn't have chord memory. Doesn't have that. I couldn't remember that honestly. It's like, oh, that's a good question. Yeah, so it doesn't have it there. So, but that's okay. You can make your adjustments. Let's see here. Sounds like it could make a good vocoder. Yeah, Vocaloid. Oh yeah, that's a good one. The Vocaloid sound. That's another good one in here. Let's see. Jay Rich says, so many sounds I don't recall seeing on my DS. I need to dig through the patches. Yeah, on any time when well, what do you think, Scott? When you get a new synth, what is your this is good. What is your kind of what do you do when you get a new synth? Like, what is your thing?
My biggest regret when I get a new synth, I don't care what it is that I don't go ahead and hook it up to my DAW and a camera and just record what my first impressions are, because those are usually like some of the best.
Yeah.
You'll come across something and you start jamming on it, you'll be like, wow, this is amazing. Then you try to go back to it and it just doesn't have that same excitement as the first time you hear it. So that's my number one regret. But usually I start to dig through it and I look for what's usable in there that I would use. If it's an organ sound or strings or piano or whatever, and then start to figure out what can I do before I open up a manual, which is me. I want to see where I get stuck. This helps me as a demonstrator and product specialist, because if I'm getting stuck on something, chances are other people are too.
Yeah.
So, and then I just see what I can do with it at that point. I just start to see, usually presets, guys that have spent time doing presets are sound designers and things. They're going to put that stuff up front in most cases, and it's going to be great. It's showing you what the keyboard's capable of doing. That's usually where I start.
Yeah, I agree with Scott. I never thought of that. Look at it as a regret. Is like, yeah. So when you first get the keyboard and it's brand new, and a lot of times we'll get a prototype or an early pre-production model, and so you've never really you've heard it. No one's heard it, and so yeah, there are sometimes when you're going through a I'm talking super brand new keyboard, to where a certain sound will inspire you, and you just kind of go off on a tangent, and it's like, yeah, I wish I would have recorded that, because that was really cool, and I can never recreate that the same way ever again. So it's kind of like, oh, it's kind of like a bummer. Yeah. So that's definitely something there that I'm like, oh yeah. But what I usually do is I always go in and I go through every single sound, and I'll get old school, like with a notebook, or if the sound list is available online, I'll download that and just kind of like make little marks, so I kind of know what particular patches or tones or whatever speak to me, and then I kind of go through it and just kind of go in there, because there's certain sounds that are just go ahead, Scott.
And on the Juno, you have a favorite section, so you can save 10 banks of 10 each.
Yep.
in the favorite section. So that's probably some of the first things you should do. Again, advantage with Phantom is that you can star and rate things 1 to 3 stars, and it looks like it's an unlimited amount of numbers.
Yeah.
That you can do that with Juno. It's 10 banks of 10.
Yeah. So, and you got to think, it's just like this is more of a budget synth or working man's. I don't like to say cheap or watered down. It's working man. I can make money with this.
Well, I mean, you've got over probably 1,400 sounds or better. You have 128 performances, meaning you could have layers of up to 16 sounds.
Yeah.
In 128 of those, you have the expansion catalog available to you. You have the XV5080 catalog available to you to put in it. It is not a low end synth by any means with having that kind of power in it.
Yeah. And okay, cool. So let's see here. Let me see. Robin asks, is this synth the Juno-DS 4 or 5 years old? Is it 4? Is it 4?
It's probably close to 4.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what year it came out. That would have been 2014. No, when did the JDXi come out? It was the next year.
I don't know because after doing so many NAMs, they all just kind of run together for me. So you guys don't know, NAM is like a big trade show where all the music manufacturers get together and just show all of our stuff to the stores, and then people can usually get in, somehow. But people always get in, even though it's not open to the public. It's somehow gets open to the public, but I don't even know.
It might be 2016. The thing is, though, with like the Juno series, is that they don't rush out to try and replace it quickly.
No.
It sits for a while, whereas like other products might run their 4 to 5 year life cycle, and then they've got something else. The Juno is just a workhorse.
Yeah.
Like I said. And I think the 88 key is still one of our #1 selling synths.
Absolutely. Here's an interesting question. Francis Newman, he says, what about synthesis capabilities? We can take a look, but keep in mind that if we wanted to go straight up synthesis, a System 8 will do better, a JDXA will do better. Obviously, the Jupiters and the Phantoms will do better than this. So
to counter that, it's as far as it letting you edit and go all the way down to the waveform or down to the sample wave or any of that type of stuff, you can do that in this. So it is no different than what the early Phantoms were or some of the other keyboards in the digital side of things.
Yes.
Because it is all PCM, it's all time variable stuff. So it's in there and you're looking at it in number base, but it doesn't have the onboard controls like you would have on the Jupiter X or the System 8.
Exactly. So we'll just take a look. I just press menu, and I'm going to go into the edit right here, and then we can go ahead and choose what we are editing right here. So I might go into the patch edit right there, and exactly what Scott is saying. We have the common kind of stuff that you can go in here and adjust, but then we can get down into the waves right here, and we can go into the waveform. So you guys will recognize this in the Phantoms and some of the other keyboards, but since this one only has a PCM engine, you're going to be missing out on a lot of the analog modeling or the supernatural or the V-piano stuff. So this will just be proof that it's just using PCM, which isn't all bad, which was not bad.
Before Supernatural and the V-piano technology and everything like that, that's all there was PCM. It was either analog or PCM. And everything still uses PCM. I mean, our competitors, they're all PCM. We've taken it to the next level as far as the Supernatural acoustic, Supernatural synth, and some other things. There are other companies that have done modeling stuff, but it's a different thing than PCM.
Yeah, because if we look in here, we have 2 LFOs, and I'm just in the patch section or the tone, same thing as a tone. So we have 2 LFOs that we can use. We have a step LFO, so we still have the matrix controller, which we talked about before, how you can, depending on what you have set, you can set different effects or synth parameters to different keys or buttons or whatever velocities. So that's all still there. And you get 4 of those. So this one, if you dig into it, you're going to get a lot out of it. So that's one thing I definitely want to make sure that we understand in there. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm just making sure. Oh, here's. Oh, I didn't want to skip over this. Handel says, "How do you compare it to the XPS 30 that was released at the same time as the DS?" I don't know a ton about the XPS because that was more, I think, for Latin America.
Mhm.
I think they're going to be very similar, but I think, and you could correct me, Scott, because I'm not totally sure, because I don't recall us selling that here in the U.S. I think it was more Latin America, and so there was a little bit different sound set in there,
Right.
and yeah, there was a different sound set that was more for that demographic. So, but they're going to be very similar. They're going to be very similar, but since I've only like touched one like 2 or 3 times and not for any amount of time. I honestly don't know. What do you say, Scott?
They're both in the identical shell. Yeah, there were a couple things that they did differently. I think most of it is the sound set that's in there. So in other words, when they're building the boards for it and the motherboards and things, there were different things that were put into the XP30, but more or less it is a Juno-DS.
Yeah.
Just has some slightly different waveforms and things that are built into it.
Yeah.
That's where the difference is, as far as I know.
Yeah, as far as I know, because we haven't even rarely touched one, to be honest. So, let's see, yeah, Walter, I agree. That's why I kind of put that in there. DS is honestly best in its class. It does a great job, and I'll probably keep this black one because I just
Well,
like its
again,
cool.
go back to the Juno-Di or even the Juno-Di. It great sounded great. You could do a performance of 16, but it was limited. Do you remember how many you could do? Was it 64 or less or
I think it
something?
was 64. I think, yeah,
But as far as editing went, you could adjust the attack and the cutoff and maybe a little bit of the release, and that was it. You couldn't go into the
yeah.
waveform level. You couldn't go to any of that stuff.
Yeah, that one was really locked. That one was really, really locked on that one. All right, let's see. Jay Ritt says, with the with the fact that it can run off batteries, I need to find a battery powered PA to pair with it.
We
Keyboard.
make
Yeah, Roland makes one. Keyboard I can camp with a laugh out loud. Yeah, that's not a laugh out loud. 'Cause actually, I see a lot of Roland battery powered amps used by street performers all over the U.S. when I travel. And then I know I've had different churches when they do revivals, they'll take a Juno out. And so they do the revivals that way. And then also, if you want to be a street performer and kind of, busking, this is a great board for that. Like at only 12 pounds, you get that and a light amp, and you're good to go. You're good to go. It's for a great sounding keyboard, and the fact that you can run a mic through here and control the mic with on the top slider here, that makes it even hipper. So that's totally cool. And they're all battery powered, right, Scott? The 61, 76, and even the 88. Yeah.
believe
So,
it or not. So yeah, you would just need some speakers, but I mean for traveling or something like that, if you're going to go camping, like Ed had said before, and you just want to jam on it, or let's say you want to take it down to the living room, put it on the coffee table for a little while and not scare the wife, put some headphones into it and just go. You
yeah.
don't have to drag all this other stuff down.
Yeah, that could be totally cool. Let me see here. Is it multi-timbral? And the answer would be Scott. Dun, dun, dun,
Yes, absolutely. Up to 16 parts.
16 part.
So you've got dedicated buttons, split and dual for 2 parts. So dual is a two-piece layer. So think of piano and strings, dual. And then split would be piano and strings or piano and bass or whatever sounds you want to put together. And those are just dedicated buttons that are sitting there on the screen the top panel next to the screen.
Yeah, but you can, and as Scott knows, you can go in there if you want to. You can go into menu, and you can go into edit, and then you can actually get down into the performance edit, and look at this. You can access all
Check this
16.
out. Yeah, you can access all that. Now, what's really cool is that the pads at this point become the selectors of those parts. So they almost act like a keyboard switch group without it being a group. But you could go through the individual ones by using the pads there. So you can layer up and set up your stuff and then go through the first 8. And then if you hold, I think, Shift, you can go through 9 through 16.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then hold Shift. What?
Yeah. So you can access all 16 sounds. So you may decide that you have one performance, it's all your bread and butter sounds, and you're just going to go through it this way. Or you can layer them with putting them on the same keyboard switch, because there is a keyboard switch, or the same MIDI channel. and then when you hit 1 or whatever, it would trigger all those parts that are connected to it.
Yeah, so that's
You have 128 of these performances.
yeah, so that makes it pretty hip that you can go in there and just do all of that in there. So really, really hip. Let's see, Garden House Studio JD800, my first real synth, got the 990. Yeah, hope you have them both. Let's see here. Enzo says, I would love to see you guys recommend at the Roland Group meeting more functionality with the motion pad, like a Chaos pad or the V Synth can do XY pad and be able to.
Yeah.
Say again. I'm sorry.
He's talking about the Phantom.
Oh, okay. Well, we're always in talks with our colleagues across the world, throughout the world, and so there's a lot of stuff floating around. But at some point we have to figure out, okay, what are you going to do? We gotta put stuff in order. Do you want me to work on this, or do you want me? We have enough. We're working. Just FYI. Bottom line, we're working. Always, even after like regular business hours. It doesn't stop.
No kidding. Ed and I have been up 11 o'clock at night, midnight, going back and forth over something or testing something or whatever. It's nonstop.
Yeah, it's pretty, but it's not a complaint. That's just how it is. Okay, it says Musico said, Ed, unrelated question. What keyboard and touchpad is that you're using? Oh, you're talking about this stuff here. That's just Apple. It's just my.
I need to get one of those touchpads, man.
Woo! Yeah. This is just the
Ed
Apple.
has all the nice gear.
I have.
Scott has all the secondhand, hand-me-down stuff.
From Ed.
From Ed, exactly. Yeah.
I'm like
somehow, little brother.
I'm like, here, peasant. I am done with this. Take this, Scott.
And I'm like, thank you.
Thank you.
I realize that it's so 5 years ago, and then I get sad. Or at least I have it.
Oh, sad face. Oh, or do I have a sad face? Nope. Okay, I'll turn it on. Stop singing, choir. All right, cool. Walter Galindo, he says, I get my Duran Duran sounds the easiest way and the best results on my Roland than any other keyboards. Actually, yeah, that's great. Probably because Duran Duran used to use Roland. So
yeah. Jupiter 4, Jupiter 8. So those sounds are going to, there was a Fairlight and some other things, but yeah, it makes total sense. You're going to get the closest through the Roland products.
So that's totally fun. Let's go ahead. Let's see. Robin Spears, he's just responding back. That's cool. Walter Galindo says, any new synth takes a lot of time to see what they can do, unlike the instant gratification of a new guitar. I have to seriously agree with that. A new guitar will have a slightly different feel from another guitar. It depends on the strings and stuff like that. But a keyboard, a lot of times we're dealing with an entirely new operating system that we're unfamiliar with, or we're halfway familiar, but then things have changed, and then we have sequencers, and then we have to learn where are all the sounds that we want to use, and then how do we save them, and then how do we edit? Yeah, there's a lot that goes into when you get a synth. When you get a synthesizer, like we're suggesting and Scott's suggesting, is just go in and go through all the sounds. Make your list. It should be it's a job. It's work, but it should be something you're into. Go for it and just dig in there, and you're gonna find some crazy sounds that you can like. Let me see if I can pull one up. I found one today, which I've known it's in there, and I haven't saved it. And I was talking to somebody on the phone. I'll find it real quick. Yeah, you just got to go through.
A lot of the sounds and things like that, sometimes they'll tell you something on the screen, like, PB, meaning pitch bend, or SL1, or something like that. That's giving you a hint. Move this controller. But still, with a lot of them, move the joystick forward, or this way or that way, or turn this knob, and see what happens. Because some of those things have stuff programmed that's hidden in it that you don't unlock until you move one of the controller features.
Yeah, so I think is it this one? I was trying. I was digging this sound today, Scott. Check this out. This is a fun sound, and it's called is it Synth Opera? I was just having fun with some of these old school sounds, and oh, here it is, Sample Opera. Yeah. I was just having so much fun. I was just having so fun. I don't know when I would use it. So yeah, I know, I know that's crazy, but it's kind of
Like layer that with a string though, and it could sound really really cool. Or
oh
pad.
yeah. I was thinking you layer that with a string and then a pad, just a little touch, in there, and it would sound and then playing it. You could just have so much fun, and then it's really cool because like you could take that sound by itself and it sounds kind of cool, but then as Scott is saying, and I know we're both guilty of layering and splitting and do stuff, you can do sounds that people that have the same keyboard when they're gonna like, mine doesn't do that. So yeah, yes it does, but you didn't do your homework. So absolutely. So that's one thing that I always kind of push: do your homework and really have fun with these sounds. Cool.
Well, it's like the jazz scat sounds that everybody play. Those ones you have a blast on because it also is good because it kind of teaches you how to develop your technique with how hard to hit, your velocity, your things, because you get different sounds.
Yeah, that's this one that Scott's talking about. It's not the full jazz scat isn't in here. So if I play it like soft, medium, and I don't think the hard is on here, Scott. So
no,
it's
not
no Dow. It's on the RDs, and we'll have to check and see if it's on the Phantom. But you learn. So that could be totally fun right there. That is a guilty pleasure sound.
Yes, it is.
That's a guilty pleasure. I'll tell you guys a quickie story. So on one of the RDs, I think it was the RD 800 or the RD 700 NX, I can't remember. Roland chose not to put the jazz scat sound because it's part of the RD history. It's just part. If you have an RD piano, you have the full jazz scat sound that goes ooh ah ow, depending on the velocity, how hard you strike the keys, and so they decided to not put it in on one of the RDs, and everybody threw a fit. Like customers, users threw a fit. Where's the jazz scat? Where's the jazz scat? And so Roland had to go back on an update and install the jazz scat. So it's kind of like, I know when an RD comes out, I do this, and probably Scott do. I do it just to get on my boss's nerves. It's just like, look, it's in here. And he just shakes his head like, oh yes, but I love it. I love the jazz scat. Have I used it on a gig? I don't know, but it's just fun. It just makes me happy.
Fun sound, and again, you layer it. I think I've played games where I've taken the jazz scat and I've layered it with a drum kit and something else just to create this weird thing going on. But yeah, it's always a fun one that you'll get stuck on way too long.
Yeah. It's a guilty pleasure, but it sounds good. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, we got some Pepsi challenges going on. Walter says to Robin Spears, I'll take the Pepsi challenge on the Jupiter Saver Prayer Patch versus the one I did on my Juno-G. It is very nice that they include that one. Oh, here we go. Pepsi challenge. Okay. Show your age. Let me see here. Garden House Studio says, first thing I do with the new synth is editing presets. Got my Jupiter X for 2 weeks and already 4 banks of custom scenes. Oh, you know what? I'm going to give you let's give them the claps. Where's the claps? Yeah. Group applause. Good job. Great job. Yeah. Dig into the sounds. Kind of create your own custom stuff because it's yours, kind of have some fun with it. And by all means, that's awesome. Okay, stop clapping, everybody. All right, good. So that's cool. So, yeah, that's awesome. Take your time with it and just kind of do it. Oh, someone is at my door. Let's see.
You have a wife for that.
Oh, my goodness. You hear that? He recorded that. Oh, no. Let's see if my ring works. Sorry, can't come to the door, and I don't want to talk to anybody right now anyway because we're in a pandemic, and please step. I need to go on there and go, please step away from the door. Please step away. So anyway, it's not working. So there's probably nobody I want to talk to anyway. Let's see here. Blah, 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 blah. Robbins, he says, I agree with that, Scott. I have an Excel template. Oh, nerd. Love it. That I use to keep track of my faves. I'm not talking to you, Alexa. Alexa, stop. God. Okay. So that's because I called Robin a nerd. Alexa got after me. So it says to keep track of my faves and link to particular songs in our set of songs I want to add to our set. But y'all, I geek out and take notes too. Absolutely. So yeah, what Robin was saying, that is a great thing to do. You know, use some kind of spreadsheet document. Oh, I think I got keyboards. Keyboards, Scott. Keyboards are here.
Yeah.
Hey, Hey, you guys, if you want, hold on. Scott, take over. I'm gonna pull the keyboards inside because there's two of them, and I don't want them to disappear.
Yes.
So real quick, I'm gonna do in the game nerd kind of thing. AFK, away from keyboard, and Scott, I'll give you the helm. I'll be right back, everybody. I'll tell you what just got in.
Okay, so what's going on? I was looking through the Jupiter. I was going through the XV50 sounds because I was curious if there's a jazz scat in there. Good possibility there's one in the Zencore, but I've never looked for it. So we'll see. I'll find out at some point. But let's see. Robin, editing. Yep. It looks like with the Juno-DS, the 5080, yeah, there's a lot of similarities. In fact, that's why I can take the 5080 sounds into it. But the editing's right there. I mean, it's a small screen, but it's all there, and you can go down to the very, very bottom. Where are we at on the chat? Jay Ritt, do you think we're going to see more axial patches in the future for the DS? Quite possibly. There's quite a bit sitting there. But that's a good question. I mean, don't forget that the XV5080 stuff is there. That has to go in through the librarian. So you'd have to connect the keyboard to the computer, make sure the driver's installed, and then you can move those patches over. But that even opens up a whole nother library. Will we see more? I don't know. That's a really good question. Quite possibly. And then first place, yep. I prefer 10 great synths over 20 high-end guitars. Nice, Bella. That's awesome. Yeah, there's something about keyboards that, I mean, guitars are awesome, but keyboards, you can be everything. Guitar, you're always going to be 6 notes polyphony, maybe 7. If you're crazy, 8. But really, no, you're never going to beat 128 note polyphony or 256 or full orchestras that you can get on that keyboard. Yeah, Jazz Scat was also in the Jupiter X. Okay, so I have to find that Garden House. You got to tell me where that's at. The Jazz Scat, what number, and where are we at? Thanks for the applause. Turn off the show and get on your synths. We won't judge. Thank you, Robin. So, anything else going on with guys, or you guys have any other questions with the Juno-DS that I might be able to answer, or Phantom, or Jupiter, or any of the other stuff? Oh, he's back. What did you get? Can you share?
I can share. I can.
Okay.
I can. How awesome is that? That keyboards just come. Yay! So, hold on. I'll open it up for you.
All right. Ed will do the unboxing. I'm going to grab a drink.
Scott's going to grab a drink. I'll show you what I got. And it's so funny that I got this because, boom, check this out. So I just got a Juno-DX White. What? I just got a Juno-DX White. Let's open this up real quick.
I think this is the best looking out of the Juno, the JDXIs was the white one. The white one just looked amazing.
Hold on, I'm opening it up right now for you guys. Dude, this is a great little rig. A Juno-DS black with, don't drop, with a JDXi white. Okay, enough with the box. All right, let me see here. Dude, this is a great little setup. You could just, I'm gonna do a gig with this. The black Juno, and then the white JDXi. Here, opening this up. Hold on, almost there. Look at this, guys. How cool would that be?
This is the second best bang for your buck synths.
Dude.
For small. The only thing it can't do is batteries because it actually has one pure analog part on it, but it comes with the microphone, which is the gooseneck. So you're
Yeah.
ready to vocode right out of the gate.
Yeah,
So
look
cool.
at that. Oh, this one isn't a fingerprint magnet. That's a good point. This one actually doesn't do fingerprints. The way they redesigned this one a little bit.
Well, we had overlays for the black ones.
Yeah.
That get rid of that, but yeah, this one there was no issue with it.
Look how that looks. Just all black. Oh, that would have been cool if the keys were just all white. so that's
Even that is all black keys would look cool.
yeah. Hold on, I'm gonna get the spray paint. This
Mhm.
look. I'm gonna go just do gigs so I can pay for these two guys because this is those are just that white one's beautiful. And look, even on the edge. Let's see if I can get it in here. Let me switch cameras. Look at this. On the edge, you can see the silver on there. So that's totally cool. Yeah, this is a great little board. I'm so happy with this one. But yeah, I just love that look. That is just such a cool look. I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna have to play a gig with both of these.
And the JDXi, one of the things that's cool with it is that its main engine is the supernatural synth engine that was in the Jupiter 80 and the Integra and the FA. That engine is actually in there, and you can go down to the partial level and edit it for that little guy. I mean, that's a big bang for the buck on the size of it, for sure.
Yeah, and then the JDXi. Here's a trick that I don't know if a lot of you know. The JDXi is actually a 4-part multi-timbral, Scott. So you could, if you wanted to, you didn't like the big keys. Not only can you hook it up through a MIDI keyboard so you can play it that way, but if you have a MIDI keyboard like the A Pros, you can actually layer the sounds of the JDXi with each other. So you can't layer on it natively.
You MIDI'd it to that Juno-DS and hit the dual button, it would layer MIDI channels 1 and 2, which would be the first 2 digital parts on that JDXi.
Or you can actually use the Phantom and do externals, and you can adjust who layers with what. The only caveat is that you cannot have the vocoder and the analog synth simultaneously.
They go through the same output, and it's only one because they're both analog signals.
Yeah, yeah. Look at this. Turn off the show and get your synths. We won't judge. It's because people see. Oh, and I got another. They sent me another Juno-DS Black. Because who wants an extra Juno-DS Black? No, I'm just joking. They're like, I'll take it. So yeah,
2 of them.
Yeah, you know how that goes.
What?
Yeah, and I have two. I have two A88s Mark IIs here too. One, so I have an extra.
I think they have my address confused with yours.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, what is that? Let's see here. Turn off the show and get your synth. Yeah, because I don't want somebody to walk away. Okay, let's see here. And unboxing porn. Yep, no joke. Did you guys see what I unboxed? Oh, you didn't see my blade. It's keyboard blade. So let's see here. Let's see here. What a sale. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you can get these. If both of these actually are totally available. If you guys want them, I think they are. I don't think I can tell you what stores, but if you did a search right now with JDXi white and Juno-DS black, Google or whatever you use, your browser would show you what stores these are available at. And just to mention it, both of these are limited editions. Just as a FYI, both of these are limited editions. So once they're gone, they're gone. So
the Juno-DS Black is brand new. The JDXi, there was a white one that was done, and it was exclusive to one of our dealers, and then they sold out of them, and that was it. So
I never saw that.
Like doing these, yeah.
I never saw the JDXi white. Oh, what a bummer! I missed that one.
It's because it went to one dealer. I'll tell you.
Yeah, you tell me offline. But yeah, if you guys want these, because these are limited editions, the Juno-DS Black and then the JDXi White. You can look them up online. And also, speaking of online, if you guys are on Facebook, tomorrow I'll be doing a live stream on Facebook for, I think I can share this with you, just so you guys can see.
Facebook, not more people the merrier.
Yeah, go come if you want to come out and just kind of support and kind of I'm gonna just be doing. It's gonna be like maybe 30 minutes unless everybody's into it, you know. So I'll find it right here for you because I was trying to share the link earlier on YouTube, but it was being kind of funky. So hold on one second. I'm gonna bring this in here. Yeah. So both of these are available, and if you guys want to, tomorrow I'll be doing a quick live stream tomorrow, and I'm finding it real quick. Hold on. I know I said it to someone over here. Let me see here.
Yeah, I saw somebody said Madonna's keyboard players had all white gear at one point. And yeah, I think I remember seeing a Jupiter 80 in the service area that was being vinyled all white, which looked really strange to me. Because I like the Jupiter 80, I like the black with the silver. So to see it completely white was weird.
Yeah. So, and I remember, I think on Madonna's tour they did, was it Phantom X's also? I think they were white.
Yeah.
Phantom X's. And then I think also the SH201 was white also.
There was a unicorn that was the DXi that was all white. Do you remember that one?
You just told me. Yeah, you told me. Oh, look, we have a special guest here. Of course.
No. DXi, the big one. It was all white. There was an all white one.
Oh, look, Scott. From our training session today, you had your boy on here, and I don't think you can see Maynard. So he's okay. Good. He's just out of the shot. So that's cool. Let's go back and answer some of these questions while my cat is deciding if he's gonna crawl over these synths or not. He knows better, but he's over here like, what's all this stuff? All right, cool. Let me see here.
A crane style production, buying the Hand Sonic in a couple weeks. Are there plans to redo the Hand Sonic with the Zen engine? If so, I'm waiting to buy it. I don't think so, unless there's a new model coming that we're not aware of. There's the Maynard. I think that's kind of its own thing and in a different realm of the keyboard teams.
Yeah, well, that would be more of the drum side. What he said, the pad, right? Yeah, so that would be the drum side.
And Sonic, those things are awesome. Absolutely. Awesome.
You guys ever look at if you guys that have cats, you ever look at your cat when the cat's just like looking into space and it's like he's seeing something and you're like, what are you looking at? And and there's no bugs or nothing. It's like, does he see?
He's looking at a dragon.
See a ghost? All right, cool. All right, let's see here. Okay, let me see here. Francois wants to see vocoding battle between the two synths. That would be kind of neat, but it'd have to be two different people. Yeah.
They're actually I think it's the same, almost the same setup. You've got the vocal ensemble, the robot between the XI and the Juno-DS.
Yeah. What's up, dude? I'm busy. He says, I don't care, dude. No.
I had this problem with Max today.
Yeah. This happens. You know, the cats really don't care. A dog, you can kind of tell a dog, and they're just like, all right. Cats like, I don't hear you. I don't see you.
Well, it's like, did you see that meme? It was like the difference between the dog, having a dog in this quarantine stream, this coronavirus thing, versus the cat. The dog was like, oh my gosh, my human quit their job just so they could spend more time with me, and the cat's like, wow, you lost your job, didn't you? I thought you were a loser. Now I know.
Yep. That's not cool. Oh, I like that. Bella Lugosi is as a Stormtrooper version. Yes, Stormtrooper version of the DXi. Let's see. Oh, and it's Garden House telling you where to go to find the Jazz Scat. That's cool.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's cool. Let's see. Medina's keyboard got head all white. Yep, we got that. Oh, Marktronics. I really don't need another synth. Giving me gas. Gear acquisition syndrome. And yes, you do. And you can thank Synth Talk to giving you gear acquisition now, so she can go there. Look at how good they look together.
You see Robin's comment?
Oh, let me see. What did Robin say?
I want a white JDXi, please. Where can I find one?
Synth Talk.
It'd be the best looking one.
Yeah, that one's the best looking one in my opinion too. Let's see. You want these keyboards? Okay, cool. Let me see.
Google, it's your friend. Just like in both keyboards, the JDXi, the Juno-DS, the Jupiter X, and the Phantom. Who is your best friend?
Oh, what? They all get together.
No, the shift button is your best friend in all of those.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you. I was meaning to tell you. So if you guys want to join me tomorrow, and Scott will be moderating, it's a little event we're doing for a dealer, but I love all the dealers. But this one's tomorrow. It's going to be on the face of the book, and it's for AmericanMusic.com, American Music Supply. You guys feel free and join stuff like that. It's going to be tomorrow, and it's going to be on, let me see if I can zoom this. Zoom it. There we go. It's going to be on Friday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern. Oh, they told me 30 minutes. Well, I guess I'm doing an hour. So
Nice.
Eastern Daylight Savings Time, Eastern Time in the U.S. So if you guys want to join, that's 3 o'clock. No, that's 4 o'clock my time Central, and then that is, 2 o'clock your time, Scott. So
No,
yeah.
that's 3 hours. So 5 p.m. Eastern time would be
2 o'clock.
3 p.m.
Okay. I don't think you're
We're
wrong.
2 hours behind.
No, this is Eastern. So it's 3.
Oh, right. You're right.
Oh,
You're right.
God.
All right. So yeah, that would be 2 o'clock my time, 3 o'clock your time, 5 o'clock Eastern time. UK time is 9 hours difference, and
Yeah.
everything.
So if you guys want to join, come on, talk a little smack, have a little bit of fun.
And if you're in Australia, it already happened.
It already happened if you're in Australia, so too bad. So that's cool. All right, let me see what else we got going over here. Let's see, Hansonic is a white version, Juno-DS. Yeah, there was a white version of the Juno-DS in Japan. There sure was. It's pretty cool when you travel throughout the country and through the world. You see some slightly different variances of the keyboards, and it makes you want to bring some of them back. Definitely, that's cool. Play us a tune with the Juno-DS. Oh, we were playing earlier, but hold on, let me see. She changed her name to Madam X. Cats on synthesizers in space. Yeah, Maynard already split. He's like, this is boring. So
When I first put this stuff up here, they would get up here and they would, they'd walk over here on this side and around the back and through the front. And now Max is like, he doesn't care. He sits right on here, walks right across it. There is just no concern or care. I don't care. And earlier I had my headphones set up and he was leaning up against the keys. It was sounding and he couldn't figure out where the noise was coming from. And it's like, you're triggering it, dummy.
Yeah, they do that. I think Mark Tronics put that on. I think he put the link.
Oh, nice.
Onyx. I appreciate it. Thank you, Mark Tronics. Let's see. Wolf Cries says the Black Edition FA8 still available at his local shop. Absolutely. So
Nice.
where he is. So go ahead and go to his shop and support all your local dealers, local music dealers, and if you have some that you support online, please give them out. Enzo asks, are the sounds in the JDXi different than the Phantoms? Yeah. No. So no disrespect to the JDXi, but that's just a little brother. JDXi does great. I know Scott and I spent a full 8-hour day just digging, and we had so much fun on the JDXi for what it is. It is an awesome job, and I probably will keep this white one. I think it's growing on me. Yeah. So the JDXi think of the JDXi as a cup of water, a cup of soda, water, okay, and just one water, and then the Phantom is the whole pallet of water. So just
whole palette, not the case.
Not the case, the palette. So that's
it's like the JDXi is a small version of the Jupiter 80 on the synth side, not the acoustic side. Because even if you get into the FA has 4 different engines in it. It's got Supernatural acoustics somewhat. It has all Supernatural synths, so that's the same as the XI. It has PCM, and then it also has the Supernatural drums. So that's the FA. But the JDXi, for what it is and the price point it's at, is pretty remarkable. And then it's got that little 4-measure sequencer on board.
Yeah, and then the vocoder on here is really good. I have used JDXi live, and then people told me they could actually understand what I'm saying. So that's good and bad for me. So it's kind of fun. Let's see here. I got my XM from AMS. They have great customer service. Always glad to hear that when our dealers take care of all the users. That's awesome.
Congrats on the XM.
Yep. Garden House Studio says, sorry, I have to go now. It's 11 p.m. in the Netherlands. My alarm rings at 6 a.m. See you guys next time. All right, take care of yourself. All right, that's actually a good time to go in here. Anyway, we're gonna let you guys go. We're an hour and a half in, which is, I think, fine for right now. But tune in next week. Tune in next week on Synth Talk. Oh wait, I messed it up. On Synth Talk. Dun, dun, dun. And we're going to go ahead and reach out to get some different artists on here and some of our colleagues from some of the other computer companies that want to come on here and teach us Ableton. But we are going to expand Synth Talk and talk about other synthesizers. This was just kind of a fun one talking about the Juno-DS Black, but we'll probably go ahead and expand to some of the other ones that we have coming too. But don't worry, we're not going to forget about the Phantom. Already started new content for the Phantom. Just keep in mind, it takes time to do content. With right now, just finding the time, and then once it's shot, then I have to compile all the footage, color the footage, do the audio, and then the editing starts. So it takes a little while. So be safe. Be patient. All right. Also, be safe out there.
Absolutely.
Remember, wash your hands, wear the mask, just be nice to everybody. Don't hoard the food, don't hoard the toilet paper. Take care of all your elders out there, and sometimes that means just leaving the food by the doorstep for them and just making sure they are good. Call your moms this weekend because it is Mother's Day, and get on her good side so she can buy you a JDXi White or a Juno-DS Black. And anyway, I hope you guys are doing good. Thank you guys for your support. Scott, to you, anything?
Nope. That's it. Everybody stay safe. Enjoy. We'll see you on the next one.
All right. We'll see you guys on Tuesday. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you later. All right. Bye-bye.